So I'm just gonna warn you, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. And if you need any proof, boom, 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 boom. Hey guys, I'm your friendly neighborhood gay, Johnnie Newsworthy, and today we are talking about Spider-Man Far From Home.
I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Now, since two big movies came out this week, I wanted to spend more time reviewing those, so there won't be a full episode. But don't worry, there is a lot I want to talk about, so let's start off with a newsflash. So Disney casted Halle Bailey, not to be confused with Halle Berry, as Ariel in the live-action Little Mermaid. And honey, the racists are mad! Everyone's argument is, what if a white person played Tiana? First of all, Tiana's story is based on her being black. Ariel's story is based on her being a fish. And I'm sure she'll do amazing. She has a beautiful voice. She's actually one half of the group, Chloe Haley. And they had this song for a very long time that I was in love with, but I didn't know who the artist is. And it turns out that it's her. Their music videos are a struggle bus though. At the end of the day, my ocean princess will be black.
I'm blackity, black, black, black.
Marshmello dropped his latest album, Joytime 3, and it's a full bop. So obviously one of my favorite songs is Down from the album. Okay, now that we're caught up, so how was it? So I thought the overall story was pretty good. Just good, not amazing. Far From Home is a really solid step forward in the MCU. It serves as a refreshing restart, building on characters that we know, but also giving us a glimpse of what's to come. Which I'm very excited for how they teased. They dropped a couple of Easter eggs in there. But to talk about it, we'll have to talk about spoilers. So go ahead, look in the description box if you want to skip ahead to the final score. Go ahead, skip, skip, skip. Far From Home had the impossible task of debuting after Endgame. So the movie picks up right after the unsnapping, now referred to as the blip. All the kids who blipped came back as the age they left, but to a world that aged 5 years. Pretty convenient that all the main cast blipped together, but go off, Queen. Everyone is obsessed with finding the, quote, next Iron Man. It's only mentioned in the movie like 57 times. Meanwhile, Peter just wants to get booed up. Like he wants to pass her a note in class and ask,
do you love me? Do you want to be my friend?
Like he wants her to back that up. Moving on. Now the whole movie serves two main purposes. One, to establish the spider sense, or the Peter tingle, as it's affectionately named by Aunt May, and to have major character development for all the kids. Really used to move Spider-Man's story forward, moving him out of Iron Man's shadow and really helping him take ownership of his superhero-ness and his and just being Peter Parker. But I have to start off with the most non-spoiler spoiler. Mysterio is the bad guy. Girl, y'all were not fooling nobody. Anyone who has read the comic or seen any of the TV shows knows two things. Mysterio is evil, and you cannot trust anything you see.
Just follow the yellow brick road.
Now, Quentin Beck says that he's a man from an alternate reality, here to help fight these elementals.
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
The actual T is he is a former employee of Tony Stark and has created these disasters just so he can look like a hero. Even though we know he's bad, It does come after Beck spends the most of the movie being overtly chummy. Like, he inserts himself in Spider-Man's life very creepily. It's like single white female meets abducted in plain sight. Now, the other big part of this movie, even though the story was amazing, I just spit, I'm sorry, is the end credits. So there are two. There's one midway and there's one like at the very end of the movie, like after all the credits have scrolled. Mid-credit scene might have been the best. It really plants the seed of what's to come with Spider-Man and potentially the rest of the franchise, but it also has a blast from the past.
Who is Spider-Man? He's a criminal, that's who he is. A vigilante, a public menace.
J.K. Simmons is reprising his role as J. Jonah Jameson. Triple J is running the Daily Bugle, which is now this InfoWars type of show, which releases heavily edited footage of Peter causing all the mess in Europe. I was like, okay, solid, get it. But bitch, there's more. The seemingly dead Mysterio reveals Spider-Man's true identity. I screamed, like I couldn't control it. And I wasn't the only one in the audience screaming, so that makes me feel better. So this obviously forces Peter to take full control of his crime-stopping career and his identity. Now this really sets up for him to be a prominent member of the Avengers, not just someone they call in like at the last second. He can actually take leadership because his identity is out there, which is Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, even Black Widow, even though she was a spy. You know, people knew their faces, so they didn't have to walk around with masks on all the time. But as we know from past Spider-Man movies, this also puts his friends and loved ones in serious danger. So I'm like living off of that. I'm like, okay, maybe there's another one and it's just gonna be a gag. No gag, bitch. The second one comes up after all the credits and we find out that Nick Fury and Maria Hill, who was hilarious in this movie throughout the whole entire thing, she had me cracking up. We actually found out that it's Talos and some other Kree woman impersonating them, which explains a lot, like why they got duped by Mysterio in the first place. So they actually call the real Nick Fury, who's on a spaceship somewhere, using like a holographic beach or whatever. Now, since Talos mentions that the Kree has camouflage equipment just like them, this really makes me think that they're setting up for the Kree Skrull War, which is a major comic book event. If that were to happen, it would also force, I just got so excited because I just figured something out. Okay, so in the Kree War, the government starts to mistrust the Avengers because of all like the alien investigation and invasions. That forces them to scrutinize the Avengers, putting them on the outs with the public, but it also lets them know that Kree and Skrull people have been taking over major government positions and like working the back end. Kind of like Captain America, Surfer, wow. Captain America, Winter Soldier. So if they do it now, they could tie in the Mueller investigation and the Russia probe into the presidential election. It's a very long-winded sentence, but potentially have Kree and Skrull playing prominent roles on either side and rigging the election so they can rise into power. That would be so cool. Oh my God. Now, if they go down this road, that would be the perfect opportunity to introduce the Fantastic Four, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the Humans if they want to retry that again because it didn't work so well the first time. And with the introduction of the multiverse, or just a mention of it, this could potentially set up for Secret Wars, the Spider-Verse, the Secret Spider Wars. I mean, it's just, the list goes on. And I'm super excited for what this means going forward. All right, so in the end, Spider-Man Far From Home sets up the post-Endgame MCU nicely. We see prominent characters grow and a sneak peek at what may come next. I give it an A. Now, did you really think that this movie was gonna get anything other than an A? Really? So what did you think? Did you see the movie? Did you notice a couple of Easter eggs I cleverly left out? Because I'm thinking about making another video just on them by themselves. Go ahead and leave me a comment. You can also hit me up on social media. And as always, I'm Johnnie Newsworthy. And please, don't be a dick.